With some careful market manipulation and just a little bit of patience, we're going to show you how to Plex your account using skill extractors. And by the end of this video, you're going to know how to acquire them cheaply, sell them, and even use them in some creative ways. So if you want the best EVE Online guides, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now. And my first point is this. If you are buying skill extractors from inside of the EVE store or on the EVE Online website, you are literally spending too much money. You can go in-game to the New Eden store, to the NES store, and you could search up skill extractors and buy them from in here. You will overspend on skill extractors unless you are using the Marquee Dragon store and using my code at checkout. The code is code Loru, ladies and gentlemen. And here's how you do it. You come down to the skill extractor, you press add to cart, you go to checkout. On this gift right here, you press LORU, you press apply. Once you do that, you're going to see your discount here. Now, I know it's not a very big discount. It's only a couple percentage points. But hear me out. The same items you're already buying in the EVE Online store, I offer you for cheaper than you were already buying. And to really sweeten the deal, as of the recording of this video, there is a massive skill extractor sale. You literally get 2 for the price of 1. Now, this sale ends in a couple days, but even if there's no sale on the Marquee Dragon site, you can still use my code on the whole thing to get all your favorite EVE in-game items for cheaper. Every single time you use Omega skill packs, all that good stuff. Use my code on the Marquee Dragon store to get all your EVE items for less money spent. This is a product I believe in, y'all. I want to make sure that y'all get the goodies for cheap. Over 200 of you have used my code in the past couple days, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, if you don't want to spend real-life money, you can always buy the skill extractors in-game, in the actual EVE market itself. And here's one of my first big tips for you. Whenever you see a skill extractor sale going on the Marquee store, you're going to notice that the prices are going to plummet. In-game, oh my gosh, so these have been going for 550 million ISK a piece, and the price has dropped 100 million ISK in a day. But let's zoom out here and just see how the price trend is going. So we see the prices were about this much this time last year, and it went down to 0.35 billion. It's the 18th of April right now, so the prices could go down even more. We'll have to see. But my point is, you can buy these in-game, and if you do, buy them from buy orders to save yourself some money. If I just want one of these skill extractors and I press buy this type, you're going to see that this price matches the sell order that's right here. Sell orders are people that have the skill extractor in hand and say, hey, give me ISK and I'll give you this thing. Buy orders are people that have ISK in hand and say, hey, I'll give you the item if you give me this ISK. If you need something now, it'll cost you a little more. It'll go through the sell order. If you want to wait a little bit and kind of test your metal against the market, you could put your ISK onto the market with a buy order and wait to see if that sells. Now, just today, I bought about 20 skill extractors in-game using my ISK because this deal is too good to pass up. And again, let's go back to the price history. Not a couple days ago, we were up at 550 million ISK. So I bought 20 at 450 million. So even if I don't use them, which we're going to show you how to do, I'm still going to be making 100 million profit. Yes, taxes and fees and all that, but I'm still going to make 100 million ISK, baby, per item. And I bought 20 of them. I do believe my math is correct. Oh, that's a 2 billion ISK. A 2 billion ISK profit in one move, ladies and gentlemen. So even if you're not going to participate in the actual real money sale happening on the Marquee site, this is a marketing opportunity if you've got some liquid ISK floating around. Our next point for you is that Plex, when these skill extractor sales go on, the price goes up. You can buy skill extractors with Plex inside of the New Eden store. You can see here it's about 20% off. And again, don't do this because it's better on Marquee site. People see this, oh, I can buy skill extractors with Plex, and they start dumping their Plex into the market. This causes a price hike, and even though it doesn't look like it's very big, you can see that we've been averaging around 4.91 million, and now we're up to 5 million in a single day. So the point here is if you see one of these skill extractor sales and you have a bunch of Plex, put your Plex up in a sell order. It's almost guaranteed to go, and you'll get some extra bang for your buck that way. My final note on market manipulation of the skill extractors, no matter where you're buying them from, don't sell them right now. Like if you're watching this video and it just came out, do not sell them yet. Wait, let's look at the timings of the last couple sales. The biggest sale of the year was right here. Looks like it was in June. The price is leveled back out. And yes, this price is less than this price. You can see over time it did increase a bunch. So if you bought the skill extractors here and sold it here, how much more did you make per? These were going for 0.34 billion, and up here on the low end it's 0.47 billion. So these people made 100 million-esque. All they had to do was wait a little bit. Looks like this was October, so 4 months. God, Eve is incredible. You can literally be an investor inside the daggum game. It's incredible. Sandbox, baby, sandbox. Now let's say you've bought the skill extractor and you don't want to just sell the extractor itself. You want to actually sell the large skill injectors that these create. So one skill extractor at its peak right now is going for about 550 million-esque. Once you turn it into a large skill injector, it sells for almost a billion-esque. It's worth noting that the sale of the skill extractors is also causing the large skill injectors to go down in price as well. Another potential investment opportunity. I guess we're going to have a market manipulation guide in EVE Online, aren't we? Stay tuned and sub for that. So here's how you use a skill injector. You're going to double click this guy and you're going to get this menu that's going to open up here. Now you're going to have to be in your pod when you do this. They don't let you do this if you're inside of a ship. Now you have to choose which skills you're going to extract. Now I'm on my main right now and I don't really want to pull off any skills. I use basically everything on this single character. But what I'm not flying right now, a lot of or even any at all, are endgame ships. So if I have like a solid month where I'm like, you know what, I'm not really trying to train up anything right now. I just want to make some extra extracting some LSIs. I'll train up endgame ships till I get 500,000 skill points and I'll go from there. What I'm going to do today is pull out the custom code expertise skill. This is a PI related skill that really only works inside of HiSec. We're going to talk about this in our other PI videos. Stay tuned for that. Now all you do is you left click and drag this up in here and it's going to pull out as many skills as it can for that tier. You can see that since we're at tier 5, it only had about 421,000 skill points. We're going to have to pull out even more from rank 4 in order to get this going. Now when I do this, I will lose access to the benefits of rank 5. And when I drag this stuff in there as well, we're going to lose access to the benefits of rank 4. And finally, I'm going to pull that in and looks like we're halfway in between rank 2 and rank 3. So when I pull this out, I'm going to only have the benefits of rank 2 customs code expertise. That's okay. Let's go ahead and press extract. Now you can see it's going to go right into your station inventory. We're going to press done. Now you don't just have to sell this LSI as is. You can right click this and press split injector. Now if I click this, you can see it becomes small skill injectors, 5 of them. Now I know this is a lot of information, but follow me here. You're really going to be able to maximize your income if you pay attention. If we open up the market, you can see LSI is going for about 900 million-esque right now. But one LSI is broken into 5 small skill injectors. And the average price of these is 188,000-esque. So if we bust out the old calculator, we can see that 188,000-esque times 5 is actually more than a single large skill injector is. So what you want to do is check both of these. Are you going to sell small skill injectors or are you going to sell large skill injectors? Typically, my small skill injectors sell more and more often because the price point is lower than the LSI. It's more new player friendly. So you're going to sell these more often. Now don't worry, you can always right click this and press combine injectors. Now it's back into being an LSI, just in case the market decides to fluctuate on you and you're like, oh, the LSIs are more expensive now. Oh well, nope, you can just recombine them, call it a day. So besides selling these, what are the other use cases for this? Well, the first one is actually what we just showed you. The custom code expertise skill is a PI skill that saves you money when you extract your items from planet in the form of lessening the customs office charges. Now my new corp that I'm joining literally this weekend, stay tuned for that. It'll be live on stream in our massive subathon this weekend. We'll see you there. I'm not going to be using high-sec customs office PI stuff, so I don't need the skills to be in this. So what I can do is rip them out of custom code expertise to put them into something else I'm trying to get into. This is really awesome because if you stop doing an activity, if you stop flying a type of ship, you can still use those skill points to actually help your character fly whatever it is you're trying to fly. So let me show you what that looks like here. We double click on this LSI. It's 150,000 skill points. Now remember, we extracted 500,000 skill points. Why I'm only getting 150,000 is due to this right here. Always the fine print, ladies and gentlemen. Characters with 5 million skill points or less will receive 500,000 unallocated skill points. You get a 1-to-1 extract versus inject if you have 5 million or less skill points. Characters between 5 million and 50 million will only get 400,000. So still pretty good, but this is your medium tier character still flying around, but you're going to get 400 million. And then it goes down to 300 million if you have less. And me, I got more than 80 million skill points, so I only get 150,000 skill points. And Blech. But here's what I'm thinking. Even though I get way less than 500k, it's still going to be worth it for me because I'm just not going to use that skill ever again. So I'm going to double click this guy, press confirm, and this will then fill up the skill points in my training queue. You can see it right here. So let's apply this to the various things that I'm trying to go fly. Using this, we're going to save a couple days. We're going to precursor battleship, destroyer, and into advanced planetology. Instead, I'm going to move Sino theory a little bit higher so we can get that sooner. We're going to repress this plus button, and look, we save 17 hours in that. I'm less concerned with advanced planetology as I am with getting into Sinos on this character. So let's press confirm. You can see now I can fly Lashak's better and fly Kiki's better, and we're well on our way into Sino field theory. So that's the first use case, taking it out of your main and putting it from a skill you don't use into a skill you do use. The second use case you can do is take one of these extract skills and use it on another character. You saw the disparity in points on the LSI. If you have a main that has a bunch of skill points and you want to extract some stuff, and then you make a new character, he's brand new, he's just a little baby character. He's gonna take a long time to train into some various skills. So you can extract with the LSI off your main and put those skills onto your alt. Let me give you a real world example of this. On my main, I'm not gonna be doing as much mining anymore, but I have a lot of Exumer focused skills. I literally have Exumer 5 on my main. I'm gonna take the skill points from Exumer 5 and move them over to my alt to train up their mining skills. My plan is to defend my mining fleet with my main and actually mine on the alts themselves. Now, the third use case is to have a character that is inactive. Its entire point is just to make you skill points that you farm and extract with skill injectors to sell. Now, many of your eyes just went wide. There's a lot to say about this. And what we're going to do is we're going to show somebody smarter than me talking about this. Now, Oz needs no introduction, absolutely doing the Lord's work here, doing all the EVE Online investment advice. And he's broken down for us the returns and costs that it would take to have an entire account running skill extraction farming. Let me show you. We're going to zoom this in a little bit. Now, before I go any further, Oz strongly discourages this, and so do I. This ends up making EVE into like its own investment sim, and you're really not playing the game, in my opinion, at that point. We talk a lot about wellness on this channel, and in order for a player to be able to afford 8.5 billion ISK, which is what it takes to get into this, it's just a lot, and the returns on it are really not so much for such a massive investment. Looks like with this setup, he's returning about 2 billion ISK a month. And I know some people, they're like, oh, I've never made 1 billion ISK. That's a lot. When you have 8.5 billion ISK, making 2 in 30 days is not that much. I'm going to break it down for you, but just caution. I don't recommend doing this system, but if you want to, here's how to do it. So what you've got is 1, 2, 3 characters that are sitting in stations, farming skill points. We're going to show you how to maximize your skill point generation in just a second. Each one is getting about 2 million skill points a month, netting just under 6 million skill points a month. Now, this is going to give you 12 LSIs a month, a little bit shy. And in order to do that, you need 900 Plex a month. Now, all these calculations I know are using the NES store's Omega to Plex calculations. You don't need Plex for anything other than the Omega that you're going to buy with that Plex. Now, inside the NES store, you can get 12 months of Omega for 3,600 Plex at a 40% discount. If I move my giant noggin here for just a sec, you can see 24 months of Omega for 45% off. So whichever one you do, whether it's the 12 or the 24, your margins are going to be better if you do 2 years worth of Omega for Plex. So 3 characters. Buying Plex from the Marquee Dragon store, it's cheaper with my code. You already know what it is. You spend 900 of that Plex a month on average to get the big Omegas. You then also have to buy skill extractors, which are going to come out to about 3.6 billion ISK a month. Also, we need to buy the multiple character training and some other Omega and Plex costs. All of our fees are going to be 8.5 billion ISK a month, all for characters that just sit in station farming skill points. Now, after everything's said and done, we're going to net 1.9 billion ISK, and this is assuming we're selling LSIs. If we turn them into small skill injectors, as you just saw, we could potentially make even more. Now, if you're going to do this, you have to know how to maximize your skill injection. Now, I know we've moved, just go with it, okay? The first way to maximize your skill generation is by getting yourself some +5 implants. these are the Dash Improved implants, and each one will get +5 to a specific attribute. Charisma, intelligence, all this other stuff. And if you've never looked at these attributes, they're right here in the attributes column of your character sheet, and you're on your skill point alt going to remap your attributes to something more appropriate. Let me open up the skill tab to show you what I mean. This is quite the rabbit hole. Y'all ready to go on a bit of a journey, huh? Now, if we come over to Spaceship Command, let's say you're on your skill farming alt. You come over to Spaceship Command. You come down to Amar Hauler, show info. We see Amar Hauler attributes, perception and willpower. We come down to Amar Strategic Cruiser, perception and willpower. Most of the ships, and indeed most of the Amar ships, are perception and willpower. So the more perception and then willpower you have right now, the faster you will train this skill. If I mouse over Amar Cruiser, you can see right here training rate is 49.5 skill points a minute. You typically want this to be above around 44 skill points a minute on a skill farming alt. Ours are higher. We're going to show you why in just a sec. Now on your skill farming alt, you're going to queue up a bunch of perception and willpower skills. You're then going to remap your character's skills, taking all these out here, and we're going to pump up perception all the way to the top, and then willpower as high as we can go. Now you're going to see that's going to make perception and willpower way higher than the rest of these skills here. This means if I press remap save, it's going to train all of those perception willpower skills faster than memory, intelligence, and charisma. So you want to get a full set of +5 implants, or at least the +5 implants that correspond to whatever you're trying to train up as fast as possible. In this case, you would get perception and willpower. I can literally hear the class saying it with me. Thank you. Now these remappings, I believe you only get one of these a year, so be careful with this. I think newer characters might get 2, but I only have the 1. Now the final way to make your skills trained faster are these cerebral accelerators. There's a couple different types of these, but these are consumables that are going to last for 1 day at a base that give you 10 more points in every single one of these, making you train them way faster. That's how we've been able to achieve 33, 31, etc. Typically, these are going to be closer to 23, 22. Now, these consumables are affected by the biology skill. I told you it was a rabbit hole. Stay with me. The biology skill gives 20% more time to booster durations. So at rank 5, it's 100% more, so double. So the cerebral accelerators will last for not 1 day, but 2, if you have biology 5. For that reason, I recommend training biology 5 on your skill farming alt. And the final way to get more skill points on your skill farming alt is super easy. Yeah, it's the daily login bonuses. Remember these? Every couple days, you're going to get a bunch of free skill points. So just log in, click a button, and keep on going. Now, your skill farming alt can be improved even further. You're already logging in to get the daily bonuses. You might as well log in on that skill farming alt and have it do some PI. Now, we got a full guide on all things PI that's right here. We take you from zero to hero and show you how to make billions of ISK inside of high sec, and we're about to venture into even more dangerous areas where the PI is way more plentiful. And we are going to have full guides on what I'm calling a passive Eve alt, something that's meant to just make you some money in the background. So sub for that. We're going to have that coming out pretty soon. And y'all make sure when you get those skill extractors that are on sale as of the recording of this video, that you use my code Loru. Thanks for enjoying, and thanks to Marquis for the fantastic site. We'll see you in the next video.